the Trump administration's controversial mass expulsion of Venezuelan immigrants to El Salvador has ignited a fierce legal battle, with the Department of Justice employing a highly contentious tactic to shield its actions from judicial scrutiny. In a dramatic escalation of the ongoing conflict between the Trump administration and the federal judiciary over immigration policy, the DOJ invoked the state secrets privilege to block a federal judge's request for information regarding the March 15th operation. This unprecedented move effectively draws a veil of secrecy over a highly questionable deportation scheme, raising serious concerns about due process and the rule of law. The operation itself remains shrouded in controversy. On March 15th, under the authority of the Alien Enemies Act, a total of 261 individuals, 238 Venezuelans and 23 Salvadorans, were forcibly deported to El Salvador, landing them directly into the clutches of a notorious Salvadoran prison, characterized by human rights advocates as a massive terrorism facility. This swift and brutal deportation, bypassing established asylum procedures and due process rights, immediately sparked outrage and legal challenges. For over a week, a federal judge has persistently sought to compel the Trump administration to disclose crucial details about the operation, including the criteria used to identify and select those deported, the conditions they faced during and after deportation, and the legal basis for the application of the Alien Enemies Act in this specific context. Instead of transparency and accountability, the administration responded with the invocation of the state secrets privilege, a rarely used and highly controversial legal shield designed to protect information deemed vital to national security. This move raises serious questions about the administration's true motives and the legitimacy of its claims. The administration's central justification for the expulsions rests on the assertion that all deported Venezuelans were members of the Tren de Aragua gang, claiming, without providing substantial evidence, that this gang infiltrated the U.S. at the behest of the Venezuelan government. This narrative, however, directly contradicts an independent intelligence document, casting further doubt on the administration's transparency and the validity of its actions. Furthermore, news reports featuring interviews with family members of those deported paint a starkly different picture. These accounts challenge the administration's claims, presenting evidence and testimonies suggesting that many of the expelled individuals are innocent civilians with no connection to the Tren de Aragua gang. These personal accounts highlight the devastating human cost of the administration's actions, separating families and potentially condemning innocent individuals to uncertain fates in a notoriously harsh prison environment. The lack of due process and the absence of credible evidence raise serious concerns about the potential for widespread human rights abuses. The invocation of the state secrets privilege in this case represents a significant departure from established legal norms and represents a blatant attempt to circumvent judicial oversight. It raises critical questions about the balance of power between the executive and judicial branches, the protection of individual rights, and the potential for abuse of power. The administration's actions not only undermine the integrity of the judicial system, but also cast a long shadow on the principles of fairness, justice, and transparency that underpin a democratic society. The ensuing legal battles promise to be protracted and contentious, with far-reaching implications for immigration policy and the future of judicial oversight of executive actions. This unprecedented use of the state secrets privilege underscores the administration's apparent disregard for the rule of law and its determination to bypass established legal processes in its pursuit of a restrictive immigration agenda. The lack of transparency and the compelling counter-narratives from family members of those deported demand a thorough and independent investigation to ensure accountability and to prevent further human rights violations. The international community is also watching closely, with concerns growing about the potential for broader implications for human rights and international law. The unfolding legal battle will undoubtedly shape future debates on immigration enforcement, the limits of executive power, and the crucial role of the judiciary in upholding the rule of law. The implications of this case extend far beyond the immediate circumstances, posing fundamental questions about the balance of power and the protection of fundamental rights within the democratic process.